Why, congratulations, my dear. You're in nursing school during the quarantine. You know what that means? You still have no life. But the only difference is the whole world doesn't have a life with you. What's up, guys? Welcome back to KimmyDTV, tips and tricks to living your best life. As you guys may see, I am trying my best to cope with quarantine life and just being cooped up all the time, especially being an extrovert is extremely difficult. But in this video, I'm going to be talking about what it's like to go to nursing school during the quarantine. So you already know what to do. Hit the thumbs up button on this video like all the other YouTubers do. Guys, like, I'm literally losing it in here. Like, oh my god. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you are new, and hit the notification bell so that you never miss a video. So if you like what you see, right? So guys, this video is basically going to be an update. Somebody requested that I do an update on how quarantine is in nursing school. So I think what I just said in the beginning, in the intro, is basically how nursing school is during the quarantine. You still have no life. There's still a lot of work. It's just that it's all, everything is online. And you know, the funny thing is, before I even started LPN to RN school, quiet as it's kept, I've always wanted to go to an online LPN to RN school because, like, I don't know, I just didn't want to physically have to go. But out of my research and everything, I just realized that, like, going to a school where it's just, you know, you go physically to clinical, it's better, you know, because some schools, I'm not going to name the names, but some schools, it's like it gets kind of tricky when you're applying for jobs or something. So I wrote down some few notes of certain things that I can talk about of what makes quarantine life so different in nursing school. So number one thing, everything's online. By the way, I wear glasses, no contact lens, that's why I'm squinting. Everything's online. Tests, quizzes, clinicals, assignments, and homework, and you still have to study. I know, right? Quiet as kept, you still have to study because, you know, when we're taking our exams, there's a webcam. You have to make sure your webcam is up, and, you know, you have to show your ID, everything like that. So you still have to study for exams like any other. You still have to do your clinical work. Obviously it's virtual now. In my opinion, I feel like it's a little bit more work because, you know, because you're not going to clinical all the time, like, they have to flood you with a lot of work because, you know, you have to complete all those hours in order to sit for NCLEX, you know? So anytime I get annoyed with clinicals, I just think in my head, like, girl, you have to do it because you have to sit for NCLEX. You have to sit for NCLEX. I am waiting for me to process this and for me to accept it and be okay with it. Still not okay with it, but that's what I tell myself, right? So that I'm not too mad. But yeah, we still have to do hours and hours upon hours of clinical work. But the good thing that I like about my clinicals is that I learn a lot. I'm not just saying that because it's like I'm like being commercial-ish, but I really do learn a lot. And like, I feel like I know how to assess better. I know which steps to do in terms of, like, what do you do for the patient when they first come in and everything. Because, you know, in clinicals, I mean, it depends on where you go to clinicals, the hospital you go to clinical, if the charge nurse lets you do certain stuff. In clinicals, you may not always have the chance or the opportunity to do things. But when you're doing a virtual clinical, it may not be the real patient, but you're put in a position where, like, okay, you're the nurse. Okay, what do? You're assessing the patient. Okay, this patient is complaining of this. What do you do now? So it's like a lot of things is on your own, and you do your own documentation and everything. So it's like great work. Like, honestly, I feel like I'm at work when I'm doing the virtual clinicals, but just to one other level because it's the RN level, obviously, right? So yeah, that's the thing. Next thing is, it helps if you type faster when you have assignments to submit. So basically what I mean by that is, of course, I have a lot of assignments to submit. It feels like the assignments are unending. Guys, save me from my assignments. I feel like if you're a fast typer, it's gonna serve you tremendously because I type fast. I took this one typing class in high school, and my teacher was such a stickler, so I'm so happy I type fast. It will help you a lot because if you type slow, like, God bless your soul, but still keep trucking on, right? Because that RN license will be yours. Still have a notebook though, because I still feel like there's something about tangibly writing down your notes instead of typing that does it for me. Like sometimes I write down notes by typing if I'm watching like a YouTube video that I really like and I want to take some notes. But I feel like with school, because like it's just something in my brain, like ever since I was younger, I always had to use a notebook to write my notes down. So it's just something about tangibly writing it down and listening to the lecture that it just does it for me, you know? It hits the spot, it hits the school educational spot, right? So that's why I do that. I feel like I said, I feel like it's more like work because they're constantly giving me work. Like I feel like I'm constantly getting assignments, constantly getting journal. Here, read this journal article. Here, do this discussion board post. Oh my God, the discussion board post. Here's a case study. Here's a virtual clinical. Don't forget you have a test. Oh, here you go. Here's an extra PowerPoint. I feel like it's always work. But it's like, what do you expect? It's nursing school. Like that's why I say like it just depends on your school, but my school gives a lot of work. So just to let you know, have a heads up, like you may have more work because it's like it's online. The one thing I do like about being in nursing school in quarantine is that I don't have to travel 2 hours or more to my clinical site. So like I obviously sometimes when I had clinicals I had to travel so far. Like my school is in Manhattan and I live in Brooklyn, so it takes like 2 hours to get from my house to my school. Like I have to take the bus to the train and sometimes to another bus again. So it's nice to like not have to travel so far. So that's one thing I like you just log in and it's your clinical, right? You can log in your PJs. Well, it depends. Like if you have to show your face, of course you can't show up in your PJs unless you're a daredevil. Let me know how that goes. I said it can foster procrastination, laziness if you're not careful because you think you have more time in the day and the week than you do. Oh, is that so true? Because you know, when you go to school, like you're used to, like you're going to school, you're walking in the classroom and you see everybody like, hey, and you know, like it's just like a community and you feel like you have to go to school. Like I mean, we have we could talk to our classmates via text or something, but it's really not the same thing. Don't fall, one thing I give advice, like don't fall under the trap of like, okay, like I could just wake up whenever I want to, or I could just do this whenever I want to. You need to really be disciplined. Like if you're somebody who didn't want to do nurse school online because you felt like you needed somebody to, you know, just hold your hand and like tell you to do this, to do that, now is not the time to do it. I feel like this crisis made us look at life very differently. Now is the time to be extremely responsible for yourself. You have to be extremely like, listen, I have a planner. If anything, I use it so much more than I ever did before. You have to use a planner. You have to plan out your day. Like today is obviously a filming day, so today I'm filming a lot. So you have to have your planner and plan like, okay, this day I'm doing this day I'm doing that, because going to school and going to nursing school at home can be kind of hard. You could have children, you could have your husband, you could have your family, you could have your roommate getting on your nerves because they won't walk their dog. I don't know. You could have so many things that's going on, and it's so pertinent that you schedule your life because it's so easy to fall under the trap of like, oh, I'll do it later. Like, no, especially if you still go to work like I do, because I'm an LPN for those guys who are new. Like, you still have to balance that out. You don't see your teacher as often because, like, you know, you could see your teacher. Like, we're allowed to see our teachers. We're allowed to, we have, you know, we have student hours and stuff like that and lectures. But it's like you don't see your teachers as often, so you could be like really laid back. But once that test comes, you're like, oh. So that's why you have to really take it seriously. Like I know it's like it feels really laid back, but take it seriously. Even though it's online, like one day this thing will end and we'll go back to normal. So try to stay focused. Just to wrap everything up, okay guys, so I think I gave you guys some great tips on going to nurse school during quarantine or online nursing school, whichever you want to call it. But just to wrap this all up, how is nursing school during the quarantine? It's just like nursing school out when there was no quarantine. It's just that everything is completely online. Virtual clinicals are online. Everything is online. Number 2, you have to have extreme self-accountability, responsibility, and diligence and persistence. Did I mention responsibility? Yeah, that's a big one. You have to make sure that you stay on top of things. There's gonna be no one behind your butt telling you, do this, do that, study this, study that. Nobody, you know, unless you happen to be one of the rare people to go to school. Like, let's say your sister or your cousin lives in the same house as you and you guys both go to the same nursing school, then you guys could coordinate. But how many of you guys actually have that going on? I think nobody. So that's why you have to be extremely disciplined. Discipline is key. And another thing is, be best friends with your planner. It will be your help and your guide. Do not wake up anytime you want to. You're still in nursing school. Every single day you must be doing something towards your goal. My advice is, make sure you set out a specific area in your house so that you have a place to study, to do your homework, to do your tests, to do your quizzes, to do your clinicals, and be weary of other people in your house, like their timeline. Like if you could have a Zoom lecture, but this person is having a dance party, or I don't know, your kids are painting the house in crayons. I don't know. But yeah, guys, make sure you do that. You guys get the gist of it, right? All right, guys, so I just want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you all, your best wishes. Overall, I'm still tired all the time because I'm always, like I said, it's like the work is overwhelming, so overwhelming that I'm just like, oh, can I wait for the summertime? I cannot wait for my break because I'm really missing my life. I'm missing like just waking up and like having nothing to do and just relaxing. I miss sleeping. I miss everything like in that nature. But yeah, guys, namaste, goodbye, sayonara, au revoir, adios, see you later, over and out.